Good day to all. Asaqr with you, and today in Mobile Hero Wars we're going to talk about items and stores from a completely unusual angle. Which items to mine and buy necessarily and which will accumulate on their own. How often certain items appear in different stores, as well as what chests and resources in them are attractive for purchase. Subscribe to this channel. There will be a lot of interesting and unusual content. Watch this video to the end to enter the giveaway, and also become a sponsor of my channel to get all the images from this video in their original quality, including the rest of the others, of which Heroes Way assignment calendar for September. This is probably the first video on my channel where we will leave aside the mechanics of heroes and talk about the most important thing: pumping by ranks. The cost of each hero varies depending on items, skins, and availability to pump stars. Equipment items are what we directly spend energy and coins on in the stores. They play a direct role for pumping heroes, and that's why we'll talk today, including which items are the most common overall among all characters. We won't touch on individual item pumping for each character separately, as this topic is very extensive, but still we will talk about those resources in addition to items which are also worth paying attention to in the stores. And so we go. To find out which items are the most frequently encountered by heroes and thus the most sought after for purchase or mining, you need to summarize their components for all ranks of all characters, which I did. I did not take into account blue, green, and gray items, as they themselves are mined very easily and cheaply, always being in abundance, which is definitely not the case with purple and orange items, which are exactly our focus in this video. Therefore, the counting of items starts exactly from the purple rank. Each character has their own unique set of items. It's set up to fit the hero concept and keep it in balance considering skins, runes, artifacts, and of course abilities. The list of items from each hero's component parts looks something like this. It's important to note that below I will only show the items from which the others are assembled, and if there is a recipe in a purple or orange item, I will post it additionally. That is, instead of one trine in the statistics of each particular hero, as well as in the summary table, will be shown one piece of Hand of Glory, Desert Blade, and Minotaur's Head. This is done for clarity. I also added a notional amount of energy it would take to fully build a hero to orange +4 rank from purple, not including gray, green, and blue items, if from every raid per mission with minimal energy expenditure just for that item, with 100% probability the item we need would drop. Keep in mind that this doesn't take into account crossover missions, where you can collect multiple purple or orange items at once for each specific hero and his rank. To calculate such missions would make sense if I knew the true chance of dropping items, because the nominal embedded in the code of the game does not coincide with reality. For example, Chapter 13, Mission 7 states that the recipe for Unity of Extremes falls out with a 20% probability, which is definitely not true. So multiply the amount of energy each character in the picture has by a factor of about 7 or 8, and you'll get an approximate number of the actual energy needed to pump him. Nevertheless, even with this information, we can see that pumping, say, Tristan with equipment items will cost much more in terms of energy expenditure than pumping Heidi. And now, with this information in mind, I present to you a summary table of the most popular items among all heroes. As we can see, the leading positions are occupied by those items that are responsible for health, magic attack, and 3 main characteristics of heroes, such as Hand of Glory, Desert Blade, and Minotaur's Head. These purple and orange items with the highest number are the most popular among the heroes, and consequently the most necessary items to buy. The top 5 items are exactly that because of the fact that in our game the layout of the main characteristics of the heroes is as follows: 16 strength heroes, 18 agility, and as many as 29 intelligence. intelligence. So it is Hand of Glory with Pastor's Seal and Flaming Heart that we see at the top of the list, as they are used to collect books and other purple or orange magical items. Among the orange unassembled items, despite the numerical dominance of mages over physic heroes, we see that Lycanthrope's Fangs takes the top spot in terms of usability, followed by Mort's map with a small gap. This is due to the huge amount of recipe item Amulet of Alucard, which includes just 2 fangs and can also be transformed into the Ruler's Globus and then directly into Unity of Extremes, which in total includes a total of 6 fangs. So Alucard's Amulet, being a fairly universal item for physic heroes and even some tanks due to the addition of physical attack and health, covers just over 350 fangs among all their wielders. The closest magic prescription item Sphere of Power covers only 184 Mort's maps out of a total of 439, suggesting a more diverse item pool among mages. Next is Alchemist Set, which can be worn by itself, giving additional health to the character, or transformed into Asclepius Staff, or blued plate armor to further increase armor or defense against magic, respectively. Next, we see stat items of Enigma's Chronicles, Harunian Helm, and Throwing Knives. Their specificity is that in campaign, each item from this trio is only mined in one mission. Because of this, they can't be called rarities, but it will take some extra work if they are the ones you need to farm. Also of interest, the prevalence of crit heroes with Hellion Harpoons is fairly low among physic heroes, preventing a potential shortage of this item. No are orange items for armor or magic defense particularly common, much less for armor penetration or magic armor penetration, so these are the ones you can dump into the asset in the first place if required. And what purple and orange items to buy in stores in the first place, in principle it is already clear. It remains only to figure out where to get them in addition to missions. There are a number of stores in Dominion Square: Town Shop, VIP Shop, Arena Shop, Tower Shop, Highwaymen Shop, Outland Shop, Dungeon Shop, Grand Arena Shop, Soulstone's Shop, Guild Wars and Guild Championship Shop, Hydra Shop, Heroes Way Shop, and a standalone theater. Each of them presents its own assortment, with which I will now familiarize you in detail and tell you what to take, taking into account the table on the most popular purple and orange items among all heroes. I'll note right away that I won't touch on the relevance of heroes on sale at stores. A separate video was created for that. The link to it is in the description of this video. Let's start with Town Shop. The first and second slots here sell varying amounts of experience potions, which may be in demand for players not level 120. The contents of the third and fourth slots do not change. Bottled energy costing 300 emeralds is too expensive. It is only justified to buy it if buying 120 energy per game day costs you 200 emeralds. Buying Dorian for such a high price in gold is only justified in order to exchange those same 5 souls for coins in the Hero's Soulstone store. The fifth slot contains all green items as well as their recipes, plus 1 purple fragment of these items can be encountered each. The sixth contains parts of all the blue items and their recipes, as well as the same purple items as the seventh, only there are 3 times as many parts. I recommend buying all items from these slots, even if they are not needed by your heroes, because the amount of gold for their purchase is very small, and they can later be used not only on heroes, but also as an asset for your guild. Another one interesting fact is that Town Shop is updated several times a day compared to all the other stores, which by time itself is only updated once a day. So try not to skip buying items and Dorian if you need to. By the way, don't forget to take advantage of 1 free update per store per day. And next, we're greeted by VIP Shop. This is a special store, the contents of which become available after you have reached a certain VIP level. That is, the more you have donated, the more you have this level. Here's a complete list of the required VIP level required to access all merchandise. They are static and don't change with store updates. However, despite the interesting goods, almost everything here is for emeralds and quite expensive, so the most attractive among the whole assortment is skin stones of strength, agility, and intelligence. If you have enough gold and your income per day is around 2 million, I recommend taking them every day. If you're an active donator, 15 chaos cores are also something to look out for, as are the artifact boxes. Just keep in mind that the specifics of this store is that it is updated once a day, and you cannot update it even by help of emeralds. Arena Shop. This is probably the most interesting store in terms of the variety of different items dropping out. Soul Stones of Judge, Dark Star, Chaba, Astrid, and Lucas are always available, but the 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, and 9th slots have the same content, which changes every time the store is updated. Because in total these slots include 142 items each, that is, the chance of dropping the right purple item is less than 1%. All the blue items are repeated 4 times, but the most attractive thing here is of course the 6 most sought after purple items, as well as Trine. Technically, there is a minimal probability of dropping 4 Trines in that store at once, but mathematically this chance is very small. Slots 10 and 11 are also the same and contain the recipes for all blue and purple items. The blue ones are repeated 10 times. It's very useful to snatch up any stat purple recipe here, as well as Book of Fate, Archangel's Mace, and their derivative recipes, as well as Siren Song. Tower Shop. You can find any blue items here in addition to the 4 heroes, as well as all the original purple items, including all recipes of the same color, so I recommend leaving about 3,000 coins in reserve to catch what you need. Also, this store has a pretty interesting lot of 100,000 gold for 100 tower coins. I will say this, if you have an income of less than 2 million gold per day, even an extra 100,000 will make you happy, so take it. Those who already have a lot of gold do not buy. Highwaymen Shop. It's good primarily because the 3 slots in it with different drop chances are identical in content and include all the purple item recipes as well as the 8 purple initial. Therefore, I also recommend keeping about 3,000 coins of this store in reserve in order to buy what you need at a moment's notice. This store is similar to Tower Shop and any blue items, and their recipes can also be found here, as can the 4 heroes, a review of which can be seen at the link in the description. Next, we move on to Outland Shop. It is no longer like the others, at least because here you can always see lots for large skin stone chests in stock, as well as skin shop certificate, which can be exchanged for unlocking the skin you need. Also, in addition to interesting characters, there are stat orange items for strength, agility, and intelligence in the form of the 10-piece of Harunian Helm, Throwing Knives, and Enigma's Chronicles. And in the 8th slot, you can find a large number of purple items up to Trine, as well as all purple recipes. All other lots in this store are static and have the same content. So what to buy here in the first place? The thing is that coins of Outlands are not accumulated in the same quantity as the coins of Tower or Highwaymen, so they are always in short supply, as well as in perpetual shortage are skin stones for heroes, so the main priority for buying here 3 large skin stone chests. Exactly 3, because in the end it comes out 250 coins cheaper for them than if you buy 1 chest each. If you are an active donator, you can buy 1 chest at the same time along with 3 chests, and next in demand are orange pieces of items. Choose them depending on the basic characteristics of your characters. Skin shop certificate most often falls out itself, and buy it for 17,000 coins is quite expensive. It will be cheaper to wait for a discount on opening Outland chests and knock out there a couple of pieces. By the way, it can also be sold to buy the same chests here, but the sale price will no longer be 17,000, but 15,500. All in all, if you're not lucky enough to drop certificates, or it's imperative that you get your hands on any skin as soon as possible, you can buy it. But strategy for most players will be limited to buying only 3 skin stone chests, which is optimal and inexpensive. The more alternatives to obtain these chests, there are no Dungeon Shop, a store unique in its degree and the only place where you can buy skin stones for Titans. They can also be obtained from Heroes Way or any event, but there are no other options to acquire them, so they are also always in short supply, and the priority of buying items in this store falls on this item. By the way, all lots here are static and do not change when you update. If we close daily Titanite quest, we get a total of 15 O coins of this store, which in full every day goes to Titan skin stones. Fairy dust is already mined from Hydra, and Titan potion can be found elsewhere. The only justification for not buying skin stones is to either fully pump all Titan skins or build Corvus, Alvanor, or Isaac to Absolute Star, which is more likely. In order to distill the hero's soul stones for the soul store, it is better to use other heroes from other stores. Grand Arena Shop. It looks something like Tower and Highwaymen shops. There are also 4 heroes here, as well as the ability to purchase purple items. But what is immediately noticeable is that there are no blue items here at all, and instead there are orange recipes and runes. So what items should you take from a given store in the first place? Great enchantment runes are attractive, especially when you have very few heroes pumped by characters and you're still a long way from being able to collect orange items. And approaching this stage, we remember the top items by quantity and realize that among orange recipes, the leading ones are Alucard's Amulet, Sphere of Power, Asclepius Staff, All-Seeing Eye, Oracle's Censer, and so on. All of them are highly sought after and often needed by your heroes, but buy exactly the right gear for your team. Everyone's team is different, but the big picture is roughly this. Grand Arena coins are very scarce, and to get them in large quantities, you need to occupy the top places of Grand Arena, which is not so easy on certain servers. So limit yourself to buying only the orange recipes you need. They outshine any other content in this store. You won't find orange recipes in any other store anymore. Continuing with the theme of orange items, one can't help but mention Soul Stone's shop. Here, all 12 main orange items are sold in each of the 2 slots. Of course, the most popular and needed items here for most players are Lycanthrope's Fangs and Mort's maps, as well as Alchemist sets and Enigma's Chronicles. It's great that you can even get all 3 stat orange items here, and not neglect to spend unnecessarily in Outland Shop. In addition to the items mentioned here, parts of the 3 stat items of the last slot on Orange plus 4 rank of almost every hero are also for sale here. This is the only place you can buy them. We also see static lot with Summoning Sphere, huge experience potions, artifact keys, jet, and 2 identical slots containing basic purple items and recipes. Judging by such a unique assortment, purple items do not look so attractive here, which is fair enough, as artifact keys and jet soul stones cannot be bought anywhere. But here the question is different: how to get coins of this store to buy anything here. It's simple. When any of your heroes reach Absolute Star, opens this store, and the extra souls of such heroes are exchanged for coins at the rate of 1 soul is 100 coins of this store. That is, the more heroes you have with Absolute Star, the more coins you can get to trade those souls and spend here. The cheapest heroes on withdrawal to Absolute are all heroes found in Tower and Highwaymen stores, so I recommend raising them to Absolute Star regardless of whether you use them or if you keep these heroes at level 1. It doesn't matter, since you'll still get coins when you buy their souls, and let's say you already know all this without me, so what's there to buy? The highest priority is Fangs, maps, Alchemist sets, Chronicles, Harunian helms, and throwing knives. All other orange items will accumulate on their own. You may also need Hellion Harpoon if you have a lot of crit heroes. In addition to orange items, if you have enough resources, buy 5 artifact keys. This is very beneficial even if you have a level 10 artifact chest. It's especially beneficial. Certainly pay attention to stat receipts if you're approaching Orange plus 4 rank. Jet is an obsolete hero as of September 2023, and you probably don't need him. As a last resort, buy purple items if you need them here and now, and if you have extra coins of hero soul stones, summoning spheres and experience potions aren't as appealing. In terms of importance, this is the most meaningful store to target, and adjust your resources so that some of them are always here, because orange items are the most expensive to build, and here they are always available, and at least half of them will definitely need to be purchased for your heroes. Moving on to Guild Wars Shop. Whether you are a champion or not, you will always receive coins from this store, but the more the better. Everything is always in stock here. Slots don't change or run out, except for a one-time purchase of a skin. There are no store upgrades. Buy as many as you have enough coins for. Here, according to the classics, as in most stores for heroes, we also see Titan Potion, gold, and 3 kinds of chests. Here are their contents. It's also the only place where you can buy champion skins for your heroes. They are not available in Outland and cannot be bought with a certificate. Choose the ones that will be useful for your main work team. What is it about this store that is appealing? In addition to heroes, Titan Potions and gold are attractive for mid-level players who are still aiming for level 120. For those who don't need it, the choice always falls on buying heroes to later exchange them for coins for the Heroes Soul Stones shop. Here is the main purpose of this store. Rare and epic chests are definitely not worth it, and legendary one is only worth buying if you have a lot of coins for the other stores and need recipes for orange items. Guild Championship Shop. Similar to the last one in that here everything is always in stock. Slots don't change, no store updates. Buy as much as you have enough coins for. Apart from the beautiful frames and avatars here, it is important to pay attention to 3 books that are not found anywhere else but this store. Experience Booster immediately raises your hero of choice to level 120. Evolution Booster replenishes the number of souls of any hero of your choice to evolve to the next star. Skill Booster pumps the level of all abilities of the selected character to the maximum level. I won't go into the technicalities of each book. I'll just say that Evolution Booster is the most important thing in this store. Save up for it and use it on those rare heroes you can't get anywhere else. The second most important function in this store is to exchange local coins for Guild Wars coins. Use this if there is a need to do so. Hydra Shop. Here we see Yasmine and Morrigan's soul stones, along with elemental spheres, chests of artifact consumables for leveling up, as well as artifact coins, sparks of power, chaos cores, and gold. The most useful thing to buy from this store is artifact coins. Players with intermediate levels may find the chests useful. Also tempting lot with 5 chaos cores, but it is extremely expensive. It is better to spend everything on coins. Buy soul stones of heroes and exchange them in the appropriate shop for keys, and from there to look for cores. I wouldn't recommend anyone to buy a gold lot from this store. Not every guild is capable of fighting all Hydra heads, especially when not everyone has a level 120 team. And if you're already defeating all heads, you probably don't need gold in that amount. Heroes Way Shop. Here you can find soul stones of Tristan, Zesha, and Suddenly Peppy, which can be mined in campaign. There are also lots of blue and purple items available as well. 11th and 13th slots, like 12th and 14th, are identical. All blue items and recipes can drop from them, as well as a basic 8 of purple and some recipes of the same color. In addition to that, you can actually buy gold, small chests of skin stones, doll with Hero of the Month, elemental spheres, and champions coffers. Here are their contents. The most interesting coffer here is the epic one. You should always take it if you have enough coins. There's pretty much a 50/50 shot of either gold or various artifact enhancement things, ranging from chests to 1,000 coins or 10 keys. The top 2 in demand are chests of skin stones, and if coins remain, I recommend taking heroes dolls as well. You can then open them all at once and get some different resources and heroes souls, which can be important for passing time events or for a quest in Heroes Way. That's what a calendar can come in handy for. And finally, the last store on this review, which is not exactly a store as we are used to seeing it, theater. It's all because of the currency used in it, because of the tickets. No matter how cool a donator you are, you still can't get more than 8 tickets every day. One ticket is given out after watching the commercial. I'll say right away that not everyone watches ads, but in terms of development it turns out to be useful, because for a month of daily watching ads you can mine a little more than 240 tickets and convert them into 2880 energy. This energy can be instantly spent to obtain resources from certain temporal events. Overall, apart from energy itself, the assortment here is very simple and static. It doesn't run out, and the store itself doesn't have a recharge to refresh the content, which means you can spend all your tickets at once, turning them into energy and emeralds. Forget raid tickets if you have VIP 1 or more level, but 75,000 gold for 5 tickets is expensive. 30 emeralds for 5 tickets doesn't look that attractive either if you spend it on energy, but some enthusiasts accumulate so many tickets that they then spend them under the right event, fulfilling the Emerald Quest branch to varying degrees. And so in general, think of theater as bottled energy. Here are all the thoughts about shops that I know of and would like to share. There is still an unanswered question about the free upgrade. I do it this way. If I don't see the necessary items in any store and before the update is about 10 hours and there are few coins, I click on update button after the store itself is updated. That is an hour after reward from Arena. It's an obvious thought, but maybe it will help someone out. Also in our game we have Titan's Soul Stone Shop. It is located separately from the others in main guild menu in a spot just below Summoning Circle, and this store is open to player on the same principle as Shop of Souls Stones for heroes, but only here the condition with the presence of one Titan with an absolute star. This store operates on the same principles as theater with guild shops, namely it has a constant infinite assortment and does not require upgrades for emeralds. Here it is difficult to say something, what exactly you need to take. All depends individually on your situation, but I notice that personally I always take gold. If I had to swing Titans by levels, I'd take Titan Potion. It is important to note that when you buy Golden Horn of Summoning, you are buying it for yourself, not for everyone in your guild. In the meantime, for the 5 players, I'll help you get more resources. Enter the draw right now, the point of which is to simply leave a comment below this video with your in-game account ID. The main requirement in participation is also a like for this video and subscription to my channel, so subscribe. Especially a lot of unique videos are waiting for you. The winner will be chosen at random. I'll reply to the winners in the comments. Thank you all for watching. I'll see you again soon.